Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm Rev Marie. Thank you for taking the time to check out this reading I'm going to do. This is a deck that I received. Oh my gosh, several months ago, and it's the Lantern. Hi, Carrie. And it talks a lot. It talks about the journey that every feminine goes through. Maiden, mother, crone. Um, Guardian as well. But anyways, it's a very nice deck. It's a very nice deck. It says to ask a question. So think about a question when I shuffle the deck because I'm going to open up a card. Sometimes it could be two cards for each of the element, the fire element, the earth, air, and water. But these cards help you to have clarity on your journey, assistance, healing. Some of these cards recommend sometimes, to meditate. This deck asks that I should do like one card every day for 40 days at least and meditate on certain cards. They're beautiful cards, but I just basically haven't used it much. But some of the cards, they're not glossy, they're matte, but there's so many nice cards. And again, it's a huge deck. My hands is very big. So we'll start. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Jenny. How are you? Hope you guys had a wonderful Thursday. Oh, did you see that? What the heck? I'm gonna have to look back at the video because I just saw something like up going all the way down. All right, that's weird. My cat isn't in the room. I'm wearing red. It looks orange. It's red. That's weird. You've had more lights on. All right, and this is an angel. You saw it, eh? Like I'm just starting, and I did clear the room instead of using my bowl. My God, I can't speak today. My Red Bull that I use. I used a spray that I make. It's Van Van's some little recipe, and it clears the room completely because I want it to clear to make it fresh. Whoever spirits come, they know to come from the light, and so yeah, it's quite powerful. So yeah, we'll start. You're in red too? Yeah, I don't wear red a lot. I don't know why it doesn't show up. That's maybe if I back up. See, maybe now you can see a little. It still looks orange, but it's red. And I thought, getting into the season soon. December 1st, just around the corner, and I think I'll start maybe decorating tomorrow or Saturday. Got to do a little bit of dusting first, and then put up some Christmas decorations. I celebrate Christmas, Yule. Hi. Oh, I'm on YouTube. I think one of my grandsons is either leaving or someone came in. Pardon me. Bye. Hi. I have a couple of grandsons. Their voices like their dad. So my oldest grandson, he sounds like his younger brother, but it's my oldest one. Oh, he's talking to my dog Boxer, my Tyson, so he'll be talking with him. I didn't know he was going to come to visit, so. Oh, well, sorry, guys. So I'm going to shuffle the cards. Think of a card, especially if you're a fire sign. But basically, I know a lot of times when I do, even in a group, when I do a reading for one person, doesn't matter how many cards I pull for the other people, there's always a little bit in each card for everybody. So think of a question, and I'm just going to shuffle these. Oh, I have my legs crossed here. I'll cross my legs just in case. Today has been a pretty good day here in Ontario, but calling for rain tomorrow. So got all my stuff done today. That's why I'm late. I was out of town. Hi, Tamara. Just got back around 6. So. Hey, Tamara. I was just saying that I'm going to be pulling a card for each element, but all in each element, there's got to be something maybe that's going to be useful for all the signs. And then as of Monday, I'll start doing each zodiac sign individual. All right, so let's pull a card for fire. Fire for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. What does Spirit want? I've got more than one guide, but yesterday I called on one and the other one came, and there's two that hang around me a lot today. Yes, since yesterday. So they're here. Okay, home. It says, may your body be where a harmonious balance of love, strength, light, and pleasure lives. It's beautiful. I don't know if you can see beautiful little card. So we'll get into the meaning of this card for the fire signs. Comes with that booklet because I think the explanations are fairly long. But let's see what that says. So it says here, so the body is to be enjoyed. Pleasure is not an indulgence. It is essential. All right. Our bodies will always do their best for us, regardless of how, we fuel our body. But we have to try and take care of it the best we can. And provide our bodies with not only nourishment, but a safe environment and loyal friends, All right. So it says here, it's a crone message. So the wise crone. It says, your body has and always will be the house you keep here. The acceptance, love, gratitude, gentleness, respect, honor, and pleasure it deserves starts with you. And it's so true. I mean, how can you take care of somebody else if you don't take care of yourself? You got to start taking care of yourself, especially when you have little children to take care of. You're raising your children. If you're not in good shape, then how can you help them? So you really got to take care of yourself, and then you're in better shape to help them. It says that drawing this card may signal that it is time to befriend your body, to love, maintain, and care for it as you would your most treasured and loving possession. For it's the most valuable material item that you'll ever own. Well, kind of true. I don't think it's material, but yeah. Whatever you give it, it gives you back tenfold. Love is the best kind of food. We wish we could always live on love and not have to eat so much, right? This includes the way you allow others to relate to you and engage with you, with your body. So if the interaction is not loving and does not genuinely support your bliss, confidence, and value, then, lose it. There's the momentary pleasures we enjoy from overeating chocolate and watching too much TV. Chocolate, yes, definitely, hands down. Gotta have chocolate. The same goes for depriving our bodies of various nourishment too. But, it says to write down all the things that you are grateful to your body, I would say for your body, and how you treat it, if you deprive it, and apologize to your body and list ways you can turn it around, and, use loving behaviors instead. And sometimes we do that. We embark on okay, we're going to take care of our body for a while, and then we just give up or we stop. But if you give up and you do certain things or exercise and you stop, then just go back on it. Doesn't have to always stay on it. We're human beings. So we do what's right for us when it's right for us, right? Yeah. And our bodies, what we have. That's what we have to work with. I don't think I've ever met anybody that doesn't totally love their body. Somebody's their eyes, somebody's their hips, you know what? Love it all. The more you love your body, the more that it will give back to you, right? Our temples, that's our temples, we're the goddesses, right? And we have to take care of our body. For our children, for our friends, but for us, it starts with us. You don't do it for somebody else. You do it what pleases you, what makes you happy. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It's not our business what anybody else thinks. It's what we think about us that matters, right? So, all right. So we'll do a card for Earth. So your Capricorn, your Taurus, and Virgo. All right. It's a heavy deck. They're really thick cards. I'll have to shuffle. All right. Let's see what it says. All right. So for Earth, radical self-acceptance. It says you're perceived the way you perceive yourself. Kind of goes along the same line as the other card that I pulled, right? Let's see what that one says. Don't read word for word because some of the stuff is okay. So the relationship you have with yourself informs how you relate to others. So the way you see yourself affects how you perceive others and assume how they see you. But the expectation you place on yourself are reflected in the disappointments you experience from and the judgments you make upon others. So when we only accept the best parts of ourselves, we mirror such conditional acceptance towards others and the world. So when you draw this card, basically it says it's a time for deep reflection. So list all the things about yourself that you have ever wished to change. What was it about yourself that you were rejecting and why? Where did that story come from that suggested something about you was wrong or not good enough or needed to change? So whose belief was that before it was yours? You can meditate. You can ask your guide for answers to those questions. So, I mean, it's okay, take a deep breath. And when you're ready, then you can start writing something down that maybe you want to change. And you can work on that, right? All the energies, like write down, what you think is negative, write down the positive. I always like to balance everything with positive as well. Yeah, and then you can also write a letter of gratitude for yourself. Many years ago, I read a meditation and it thanked every part of your body, like your cells, your atoms, your organs. And can't remember those two books. I thought maybe I'd find it again. And so I got the books, I couldn't find it. But it was a really good meditation. And it was basically like thanking your liver, thanking your heart for beating, thanking your kidneys, thanking everything. And it was a very wonderful and very deep and very healing meditation. You know, everything, write gratitude things, and just you could take it to your heart and put them into your heart. Allow a lot of positive to come in. I did share one of the psychic protection. It was called a meditation. Pardon me. I don't find it's a meditation, but because they ask you that you visualize this, you see it, imagine it in your mind. You put layers of protection, different colors around you, and you let only light come in. You don't want to put a shield up to shield everything because you have to let the light in. You have to let the love in. But you want to protect yourself from unwanted energies and negativity. And it's a psychic protection, but it's a fabulous one. It really works. So just allow all this positive stuff, the compassionate, all this energy. It helps to heal. It helps you heal. The more you thank your body, the more you do positive things, the more you get positive back. And it says here, when we radically accept ourselves, we become luminous. We shine. And that's what we're here to do, right? So when we force ourselves into shapes and roles and pursuits that are not authentic, we compromise our true potential and radiance as well. And the guardian in the woman, it says that encourages you to accept yourself today, to unconditionally open your full potential. Open to your full potential. Live your bliss. Your light will illuminate, and how beautiful life is. So you accept, you judge, connect with others to the extent that you accept, regard, and connect with yourself. I think that's a pretty powerful card. Like I said, I haven't played too much with this deck. And Spirit just wanted me to use this one today. I said, okay, all right, let's do it. So yeah. It's pretty intense. It's good for the soul. But basically what this is, because this deck, the Lantern Oracle, it says you connect with the Maiden, Mothers, Guardian, and Crones of this profound and powerful deck for clarity, growth, assistance, and healing. So, I mean, if you do a lot of shadow work, which I've been asked to teach, but it can get quite intense. But if you want to heal yourself, profoundly heal yourself, this would be a pretty good deck to help you, because you will meet your shadows and work with your shadows. And once you embark on a journey like that, it's intense, and it can take a long time depending. And it's healing. but you're going to go through a lot of stuff. Maybe you don't want to go through, but so when you embark on it, you got to make sure that you want to follow through. It's not really good to start and then just give up, right? All right, so we'll do another card for air with your Gemini or Libra and Aquarius. So think of a question for that. Tai Chi does that too, yes. I was thinking about it, and I've never done it, but it looks wonderful. Tai Chi. You just move very slow, all the slow moves, and become so much aware of your body and your mind, and your breath. It's pretty good. Okay, what do we have? Oh, indeed, we need to go deep, deep, deep for, oh, enough. You were born enough. See how these cards kind of found that pretty? It's a beautiful, beautiful card. It says enough. All right, so what else does it say? It says here, throughout life, we grow either toward or away from embodying our spirit self. So the direction away from spirit self is often poorly compensated with false identity that further weakens our power, autonomy, and authenticity, even amongst apparent success, right? Such pretenses further stifle us from within. So a life constructed from self-compromise and erasure, I'm not sure that word, will shadow from the inside out. So much like a mansion built on hollow foundations will crumble. Can be no other way. So like the featured mother, no one deliberately compromises themselves. For most, this is an inherent pattern that results in mindlessness, reenactment of one's upbringing. So an upbringing that included neglect, abuse, or lack of resources may not have nurtured a secure sense of self. So inherent lovability, appropriate boundaries, and confidence. Yeah. The featured here is the mother. So they're talking about the mother. Is an example of someone who has not always known her worth or how to live with integrity. Initially, she had no boundaries, no understanding of how to assert them or her inherent right to have them respected. She did not realize that she had always been, is, and will always be enough. Her wings never have been locked within her back, nor need yours. It is up to the mother, like it is up to you, to keep your wings forever outstretched and ready for flight in the direction of spirit self's calling. When we're called to make changes in our life, we're called to, and it's for our growth. Sometimes can be a little bit scary, but it's telling you, keep your wings open, be ready to take flight. So tune into an aspect of your life that doesn't feel right, inspiring, or true to you. The mother asks you to step up and move forward with clarity and a firm commitment to what is right for and by you. She asks you to identify what is enough for you, then rather than prioritizing any desires or expectation of the outside world. From this, you will both realize and enforce your boundaries. All that you are, all that you have, and all that you do is enough. We are enough. We have to be reminded. Right? It's more than enough. The fact that you breathe is all that is ever required of you to be enough. So give yourself permission to be, well, just simply be. If you're tired, do less. If you lack pleasure, do more what brings you joy. But always be you. Breathe with your wings outspread. You're your spirit self facilitator, not jailer. There's nothing to add, win, acquire, achieve, or improve in order to be enough. You were born enough. So from this place of inherent enoughness, respect yourself and your eternal right to be all that you are by aligning your thoughts, your words, and actions with your spirit self. It's very, very beautiful. And she's wearing red. So know and honor your boundaries. You know, a lot of us had to learn later on to do boundaries, right? Yeah. I was put down with this injury to lock inward. Yes. True. Many years ago, including myself, when I got really ill, it was time to really look at myself inside and out. I wasn't on the right path. Obviously, I was working customer service, but there was something. So whenever anybody has an injury, an accident, even if it's for a few months or a few years or a few weeks, it doesn't matter. It's your spirit self trying to tell you, listen, you need to either take a break, take better care of yourself. It's time for spiritual growth, or you need to change path. And there's always a lesson in something. Yeah. It says prioritize your spirit self need for authentic representation. That those who do not respect you as you are on your own terms fall away. So that the people and opportunities that do can come in. And that's true. That's even true for employment. That's true for everything we do. And sometimes people, we may have friends or a group of people who hang around for a while, and some people may grow faster than others, or decide to change or move away or something. Life is constant change. It's best to just go with the flow, right? Pancreatic cancer, yeah. You're healing now, awesome, and so spiritual. Well, I'm glad you're healing. Yes, many blessings of healing too. It's not easy, a lot of people go through so many things, but yeah, it's all for growth, our own growth. I was taught many years ago that we've come on this earth to experience a lot of things that we agreed to on the other side. Well, what were we thinking coming here to experience this? We must have been all loving on the other side. You don't remember nothing, and then you come here and then you start experiencing these things, and you're like, what the heck, right? We apparently have agreed to this. Some of it's believable. Some of the stuff you got to shake your head. Yeah, for sure. Well, there's a few people I know. I have an ex-sister-in-law who's beat cancer for the last, oh my gosh, I want to say 30 years. It's been, there's something, and miraculously gets better, heals, was fighting something again. Everybody's praying, send her prayers, send her healing. A lot of love, a lot of light. Beat that again. It's, yeah. Yes. Life lessons. Yeah. Yeah. That's, sure not easy. But the universe knows how to put a stop sometimes, right? You're on a beautiful journey. That's right. We're on our own individual journey. And there's, sometimes little bumps on the road, right? So a little bumpy. Sometimes a lot periods are bumpier, but it does get better, right? Yeah. Ask a question, think about something. I'm going to pull a card for the water signs, the Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Yeah, we have to take care of it. I mean, if we don't take care of ourselves, who is going to, right? We're responsible for ourselves. So we've got to take care of ourselves the best way we can. The best way we can. Starting today, moving forth. The past is gone, can't do nothing about that, but we start to take better care of ourselves. Oh, I said earlier, moving forward. This is what I got, moving forward. Moving forward. It says here, the first step is taken within our stillness. It's a woman, she's walking, and you see an eagle behind you. You see some of the footsteps that are her own. She's walking towards the sunshine. Isn't that gorgeous? Moving forward. So water signs. Moving forward is always a good thing. It says here, when we feel stuck, tired, or uninspired, we typically seek change, movement, stimulation, or by adding sometimes something new in our life, right? If you remember of a time where you felt like uninspired and you just went out, maybe bought yourself something and come home, and it's like, okay, now you got a new fresh outlook on something. It doesn't have to be something expensive, but you just even go out and change of scenery. We may also be advised to do so by well-meaning individuals. Sometimes people are saying, they push you out of your comfort zone, right? The assumption being that an external alteration is the solution to our dissatisfaction. However, to only change the appearance of our lives typically eventuates in the new place, career path, partner, activity, or hobby, losing its novel appeal as ending as abruptly as it began. Yeah, if you always search for stuff outside yourself, I mean, it'll be amazing for a little while, but then the novelty wears off, right? And it's like, meh, whatever, right? So, like a cage rat within its spinning wheel, or restless search for something, somewhere, or someone different resumes. So, oversight to the futility of superficial change potential sends us on a wildly blind or even reckless search for things to change about our lives and who we seem to be. So this is all motivated by the false belief that we are indeed improving ourselves and advancing, but rarely do we stop to ask the question, have I actually moved? Has anything really changed? Why, after the initial buzz of something new, do I feel the same inside? Well, sometimes material things is not what we need. It's not what we can apply to help, right? You're Pisces. Yes. Thank you, Jenny. Yes, prayers and blessings for all, everyone. So basically this is the guardian, and the message is what we leave behind releases us forward. And it's so true in every reading I do, when I know that, the death card comes or the tower card, it's usually about just telling people, okay, you're ready to move forward. Maybe you're a little afraid, but you've been asking, the universe is going to push you. When you have the tower card come, sometimes it's like you maybe forgot about it for a while, you want the change, and you kind of just accepted the way things were, and all of a sudden it's like, what happened? You probably were asking for this for a long time, but the universe was doing the things in the back, trying to put everything in order for you, and then this comes and like, you're, what the heck, like, what's going on, right? But anyway, yeah. So this card, when it shows up, it just says, sit with your present. Shut your eyes to the drama. Review your inner landscape. Know that everything you release from within this stillness is a step forward. So moving forward in the physical plane through the form of a new location, job, project, relationship only works when it reflects the new territory one has already arrived at from within. So when you're ready, right? When you're ready, the universe, you've asked for it, you think you're ready sometimes, but you're not. And when the universe knows you're ready, they'll give you that little shove. There you go. That's where you need to be. And it pushes you out of your comfort zone sometimes. But that's what we need. We need that sometimes. We definitely do. Now I'll pull one more for all: fire, earth, air, and water. I'm going to put one more in general. If anybody has any questions, put them there and see what comes up. So one general for everybody that's listening. What do they want you to know? Okay, wow. This one says emptied. The ending and beginning lie at either side of the same door. Huh, true. Huh? Never thought of it that way. You say open the door, you close the door and move forth. But that's true. You open the door, you move forth. What's behind it? The ending. What's forward? The opening. I'm visual, so when I read something like this, right away I kind of see a picture in my head of not her laying down like that, but I see more of a door. I'm very visual. It says here, emptiness can feel like the end of a no-through road. Feel like sometimes a dead end. So we don't see that sometimes the feeling of despair for the chrysalis that is. So upon emerging from a dark night of the soul, and I'm sure a lot of you have been through that, dark night of the soul. It's a gateway inviting us into a new way of being in the world. Right? Thank you, Jenny. Appreciate you guys, all of you. So it's not uncommon for life to confront us with situations that seem to extinguish our light for some time. Sometimes we get a little upset, right? And we're like, okay, that's it. I'm so done. I'm just, we get exhausted and get depleted. And, sometimes we're at the end, it says here, sometimes our career choice or relationship or phase can sometimes leave us believing our efforts as aspiration and opportunities to make something of ourselves were in vain. But that our best was not enough to make our lives work in that way. So, we'd hope. We thought, okay, we did this and we thought it was going to last a long time, or this should be there for a while. But it caused a lot of upheaval when we're faced to make changes. Because if we stay where we are, then we're just spinning our wheel but not getting anywhere. So the power for any period of hopelessness or withdrawal to bring us to our edge is not to be underestimated. No one goes through life untouched. You may think some people will have it so easy. Some we think they do, but you don't know. You don't know what's completely behind somebody's closed door. Sometimes we think, oh, they seem to have a really good life, everything, happy. And then you find out when you get to know them a little more that they either had a tragic childhood or it's not as roses and that it seems to be. So regardless of what hand we are dealt, or the path that we walk, life is capable of emptying every one of us of everything that we have to give and all that we believe that we are. That's when the dark night come out of the dark night of the soul. It's like, wow. It's like, wake up, right? When this happens, to whatever degree, we are left feeling kind of defeated, right? We're fragile, kind of blind to see what to do next because sometimes we don't want to see. But any degree of emptiness you experience in your life is a blessing. Look at it that way, right? Like a womb, it has the power to birth a new life. And a lot of people say, "Oh God, I've been dealt that a wrong hand here, and it's awful." Yeah. So what do you think is next? Something better, usually, right? Something better. So while our circumstances may seem to be in ruins and empty, trust that a process of renewal and fulfillment is happening within all that we cannot see. I feel like I've never did these cards with you guys, but I'm reading this and it's almost like deja vu to me. It's like, whoa, what the heck? All right. Well, I guess this was meant to be, right? Just as the seed of spring are present and growing in unseen ways throughout winter, the emptiness is a door that eventually opens into a new perspective. So on the door to every ending is a handle that opens into a new beginning. Different way of looking at things, right? Trust that all that came before and reached its conclusion had a necessary place and value, regardless of whether we recognize it. We cannot anticipate, understand, or appreciate how or why things fit together and unfold the way they do. Sometimes we never know. We can say, why? Why did this happen? I've learned not to say why, but what happened or what was the reason. But still, we don't always get to know right away. We may know 10 years later, 15 years, or never know. It doesn't matter, right? Just move forward. Our spirit self operates from a foreign perspective and logic that typically evades us. It's so true. So to surrender to the abrupt twists, turns, and losses that temporarily empty us of our life's path is often the only way to the genuine fulfillment of what it seems like life is forcing us to let go of. Especially when you reach a point in your life and you say, okay, I understand I don't have control of my life. We think we do. But when we reach a point and we say, all right, creator or guide, spirit or higher self, okay, you take the reins. You lead the way. You lead the way. You know what's best for me. You can see ahead of time what's best for me. You lead the way. I'll follow and I trust you. When you do that, life changes and it's a lot better. But once in a while we think, oh, okay, no, I think maybe I had a hand in that and I'm going to take control again. You learn real quick to give back the reins. Let the universe guide you. So the mother, like she is here, the mother assures you that you are receiving everything you need to grow forth. So the mother assures that you are everything you need to grow forth. Trust that the universe is always meeting you halfway with the lessons required to advance you at your highest level. Your darkest moments are also your brightest blessings if you allow them to be the radiant beginnings that they are here to open up in you. So it's now time to let go, and it's good because we just had the full moon on Monday in Gemini, and when it comes full moon, it's the best time to just let go of things, just release. I do sometimes we do a full moon ceremony. We burn things, we write things we want to release, and then we write short-term goals that we want to attract to ourselves. So a burning ceremony on a full moon is quite powerful. So anyway, so it's time to thoroughly let go of something you are still clinging to at your own detriment. Empty yourself of it in all ways. On some level, something has come to an irreversible end, and you need to accept it as such. Because if you don't, you're just creating havoc, and it's going to be hard for yourself, right? So just release the residue to allow the necessary clearing of space for the new beginnings. So surrender to your spirit self. That's what I'm saying. Give the reins over. You guide me. You know what's best for me. Your higher self knows. It's all a lot of stuff is all predestined. It knows what is best for you. So allow yourself to be emptied of all that is over, false or untrue. Let the light that you are filled refuel, expand beyond, and radiate the emptiness to say that it may be seen. So it may be seen from the gateway that is. So yeah, how can you shine your light if you're holding on to things and person's miserable or unhappy, or deep down sometimes you have to make changes, and I know sometimes making changes is hard. It's scary, although we want to when it comes time. Or like, I believe at age 57, probably having to start over. Yeah, no more patient care. I'm kind of scared. Feels. Yeah, I was a PSW for about 4 years. I worked in the community. I worked in nursing homes. I worked in the retirement homes. As a PSW in the community, was personal support worker, I would go to some of the retirement homes because they were waiting for a bed in the nursing home, so they couldn't take care of them. And I'd go through this company and take care of them. Sometimes I'd go in hospitals as well as a personal support worker and help with them. Did a lot of palliative, and I loved it. But it's hard. Some people really want to take advantage of the system. Hi, Shar. How are you? So, yeah, I mean, Tamara, yeah, but it shouldn't be embarrassing. You've done a lot of great stuff. That's where right now you have to take care of you. I wanted to continue doing what I was doing, but Spirit had other plans. And I thought, okay. And, even a friend of mine who's a medium as well, I said, should I go back? Sometimes I want to go back. I miss taking care of especially my palliative patients that I had. And she's like, no, it's not for you. You got to do something else. So a lot of deep soul searching. What else can I do, right? But, for you to marry, you've done it. Bless you for doing that, because it's not easy work. I've been told by many people, right? Follow your spiritual path. Follow your I mean, it's been 3-4 years ago. I had trouble. I had to have a total hip surgery. I mean, I'm in my 60s, so still, I used a walker for a while. Then I had to have a wheelchair. I'd go to the store and I had to use the right, those carts, because I couldn't walk. My hip and my whole thigh would just lock. And I'd say to my husband, well, I got to get one of those carts because I can't walk through Costco or Walmart or everywhere I went where they had that. I had to sit in that. And I had some people look at me, like, you're not that old. Well, it's not of age. I have a friend of mine who's Irish. She's stubborn Irish lady. I have a little bit in Irish in me. And I said to her, you have, and she's older than I am. She's about 10 years older. She's in her 70s. I said, you have to use a cane because you keep falling all over. Nope. Nope. Stubborn. And she knows. She says she's stubborn. I love her. She's amazing. But you know what? If you fall and you break something, it's on her. I mean, she if it would help if she used a cane. She did fall. She did fall last winter. I remember she told me a few weeks after she called. She could have broke something, right? But yeah, I mean, I'm young and I had to have a hip surgery. Yeah, yeah, I have. Yeah, my right hip, so my bionic on that one side. Yeah, I have some stainless steel there. So I said to my doctor, I said, so do I need a special thing if I go through the airport? That thing is going to go off. He says, oh no, they see it in the they'll see it in the X-ray machine. You're okay. Yeah, my right. So I said, okay. So I asked him what he installed. My sister's a nurse, an OR nurse. She says, well, tell me what model and what they put in there. So I told her. He was fine. He was kind of laughing at me. Why are you asking me this? And I'm like, well, I just need to know. He says, you want to tattoo it somewhere? I said, no, because he's talking about some of the tattoos I have. But anyways, yeah, I've got a bionic hip. No, when I went in Toronto, they said, yeah, it's severely damaged. And one of the nurses there says, oh, try to do some exercises, I'm like, it's done. Exercise won't cut it. I did get some healing, some CCMBA, which totally took the pain away. I was able to kneel down and everything. But I know this is only temporary. I still had to have the surgery, so I got it done. Yeah. We're warriors. We are. We're all warriors. We're all fighters. But yeah, don't feel embarrassed about your body. This is your body. Bless your body. Your body's your temple. Thank your body, right? Because it serves you well. Our feet carries our whole weight. Our feet should be blessed over and over and over, right? Because they carry all of us. But yeah, if you need that, you need that. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It is stronger than the other one. Should be. Yeah. Yes, it's a good thing because the other day I was thinking, what if this would have happened many, many years ago and I couldn't have that hip thing? I would have been stuck in a wheelchair or I don't know, some kind of brace or something. And then if you're in a wheelchair all the time, you can't use that. That muscle weakens and weakens. And yeah, it would have been. I'm grateful that I had to have that done. A friend of mine got her both knees done. Wow. Yeah. How long am I here for? Online? Well, I came on at 7:45, so it's 28, so I should be going soon. But yeah, I'll come back tomorrow. Water sign here need guidance. I pulled a card for all the signs, all the fire signs, the earth, air, and water. And then I pulled another card for the whole group or whoever, is watching. So if you go back and look at that, you were going to put the word out. That's okay. I came home. I was out of town, so I came home, and I think it was 6:30 that I was going at, or no, it was closer to 7. I think I put that I was going to be going at 7:45. These are hard ones to replace. Yes, painful hip. Yes, yeah, my hip. It took a while because they send me home with all these pills, and I said, "What's this for? It's this for this for." Okay, this is I won't take. I'm going to do the herbal way. Celery seeds, but it took longer. I suffered a little more, but I didn't want to take all the other medication. They were giving me a lot of meds. When I woke up from surgery, I forget what they gave me, but I just puked. It's just like too many pills. My goodness, it's like a handful. I'm like, and the nurse, she should have explained to me, well, yeah, but if you don't do this, this is going to happen. Because I just that morning I was getting ready to leave the hospital, and I just wanted out of there. Yeah. And depending, some people, recuperate real fast. A friend of mine who's probably 98 pounds, she's tiny, she had it and she was up and gone. Like she was up in no time. I'm a little heavier and it took me a little, and I've got other, health issues, but Took a little longer, but hey, it works for me now. I mean, I do feel the rain coming tomorrow, so it's a good barometer. Sometimes you feel like it's a little achy. So yeah, a lot of arthritis in that area. So Liesa Martinez, the water sign need help. Yes. Yeah, we did it. We did it. We got new body parts. Bionic, half bionic woman. Yeah, my friend, she got both knees done, and some people get one done and then get the other. And my sister, who's an OR nurse, she said that sometimes if you have a lot of help, it's best to have them both done at the same time. But it must be hard, right? Yeah, we sure did. So because there's a lot of water signs. There's another one here, Pisces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull another water card for water signs. See what happens. Think of the question. Think of the question, because I know somebody else who was Pisces. I know another Pisces came up. A few Pisces here. So let's do one more card. Every card that I pulled, it's like a story. Every card seemed to just build on the other. It's kind of nice. Yeah, first time I really used this deck. It was given to me by one of my students. She didn't use it anymore. She didn't have it. I said, well, sure. It looks nice. That sounds interesting. Let me see. I've had it for a few months. All right. Okay. Yeah, Char is Pisces. Right? Right, Char, I believe? And Kara is a Libra. Yeah. So this other card I pulled here for all you water signs. It's a strength of vulnerability. So the power lies at the root of a perceived weakness. So I'm going to read a little more what it says about this card. But this card is nice because it's the card on the cover. On the cover of this. It's a beautiful deck. It's very it's very deep. I think if somebody was, like I said, wanting to do a lot of shadow work, and sometimes it'll tell you the truth straight up, whether you want to hear it or not, right? And this deck is going to do that. It'll just straight out there. It says feelings of vulnerability arise when we are treated as if we are, or we believe ourselves to be, incapable of adequately protecting or providing for ourselves. It may be that we feel somewhat dependent or insecure in our relationship. It could be intimate, it could be social or familial, profession, situation, or place. Our vulnerability presents us with the fears and uncertainty we need to confront and overcome in our personal development. Every fears, false evidence appearing real. Although we all fear things from time to time. I mean, there's fear of danger. That's something. But sometimes a lot of those fears, there are fears, but they're not really real on the outside. What's my sign? Taurus. I'm an earth sign. So, therefore, what frightens us can be used as the catalyst to discovering our inner resources and the capacity to self-empower and outgrow any perceived limitation. Yeah, I'm a Taurus, yes. If we listen to and accept our feelings of weakness, if we listen to ourselves and we have to be careful how we talk to ourselves. If we're saying, oh yeah, I'm this or I'm that, and again, words are very powerful. The words and our thoughts about ourselves, positive. If you think something and you think something negative, or you say something negative about yourself, right away, catch it and say something positive. And eventually you just say a lot of positive stuff. Because, I mean, if you beat yourself up and be negative all the time, you can have, I believe it sends out of our body and our energy. It affects our auras and everything, right? So if we listen to and accept our feelings of weakness and what seems threatening, we can identify ways and effective ways to prepare, to learn, to support ourselves, and to survive them, master them, and thrive beyond them. Yeah. Thank you. So as the maiden, you are the warrior. See? You're the warrior. Now, I mean, Where's her sword? I think she's got a spear, but I think she should have a sword as well, right? So your life experiences and current resources are not random, but perfectly equipped you to take on whatever makes you feel vulnerable. So you're at the threshold of realizing your inherent strength. To know what you're capable of involves daring to experience the full spectrum of yourself. So this includes exploring what you believe you are not. Okay. It could help to ask yourself, how would I handle the situation if I did not feel inadequate? In what ways can my current feelings of vulnerability be perceived as a strength? You can write some of that down. So the maiden here encourages you to recognize your vulnerability as a training ground for developing the necessary skills, resources, and support network to gain a sense of self-mastery and strength over any perceived weakness. So your vulnerability is where you recognize your power. That's the maiden's message. We are all powerful. Some more than others, maybe, but we are all powerful. We all have a tremendous inner strength. We just have to tap into that, right? Tap into that. Tap into your energy center. And by thinking positive thoughts about yourself and complimenting and being grateful for your body and everything, you strengthen your aura, like the psychic meditation. It's good to strengthen that aura because things can bounce off of when you go out and socially you go out and there's a lot of people, then their negative influence won't bother you as much. Because sometimes an aura, I see a little bit of auras, but some people see many layers. I see 2 and I've seen some 3. I met one person that could see 5. That's the only person I know of. But the aura itself, it's not a perfect line. It's energy, and sometimes it can have little holes, sometimes it has little edges. And it's when that is not strong, other negative influence can enter, and then it stirs, and we don't feel great. And that's where we need to ground more, and we need to cleanse, and it does affect our aura. So we have to be careful who we hang around with as well. Try to hang around people of like mind, for I say. Yes, more like the Maggies and the High Priestesses, for sure. For sure. Amen to that. We are warriors. We are Mother Maiden, Garden Crones. We are goddesses. We're a lot of selenite. Yes. I have a tower in my living room of selenite. I have a little pyramid in one of my drawers. So, yeah. I've got a few of the little pieces. I love selenite. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And, sometimes you don't feel good or have a headache. Just take a piece of selenite. It doesn't have to be raw. It could be smooth. And just kind of, go over your body like that. It helps. I've had this the other day. I thought, it felt so good. I just put on my forehead. But, yeah, it works. You have been your daughter-in-law and mom in spirit. Yeah. Yeah, my mom's in spirit as well, since 2011. Yeah. They come around sometimes. I think I told you the other day, they had a strong, smells like baby powder. And I'm like, yes, So sometimes a spirit that's crossed over, it'll be known to you. You won't be a stranger. You'll have a strong, strong scent. Could be a perfume, if it's, a female. Or sometimes it's like a cologne or an aftershave for if it's a man, or if like my grandfather comes around, you smell of the cigar or the pipe. I knew when I was driving around in my car one time, and I could smell. He smoked cigars and the pipe, but this was the White Owl cigars, and I was like, I'm in my car alone driving home and I smell it. And he was in the backseat just enjoying the ride, my grandfather. But the other day, baby powder. And like, who used baby powder? And I don't know. I think I know who it is now. You can ask when something like this happens to you. You can say, who's here? Or who's this? And the very first name that comes into your mind, very, very first name, that split second, that's who it is. But a lot of people second guess themselves and they say, oh, it can't be that person. Maybe it's this, or you this, or you that. No, it's the very first person that comes to your mind. She stood at the end of her on her birthday. She was at the end of your bed. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, she had Chantel and emerald perfume. That cigars, chair, wood pipe. Yeah, for sure. And they come to you sometimes the unexpected. And it's not that you're. A lot of times they'll come around. You're not super busy. You may just be relaxing, and all of a sudden, or if you're driving somewhere, then you have this intense smell. And you know who they are. If you don't, you ask, who's here? You know. Yeah, yeah. Touch your foot. So for you, Carrie, that it is a female, short hair. It's your mother or grandmother. It's on mother's side. It says mother or grandmother. Definitely. Yeah, and sometimes animals. Animals. I go to bed at night, and I don't know. Sometimes my cat will jump on, but sometimes the other day I turned the light on and he wasn't even in bed with me, but it felt like a cat. If it's a dog, it's like a little heavier. But my husband will say, "You coming to bed?" Because the bed feels like a water bed. It's just like so many animals. Once I go to bed, then it stops. Like you'll have one or something, and that's it. But until I go to bed, sometimes he gets rocked. Female, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was your mom. Yeah. Yeah, the animals are so cute. I've had a lot of animals. Somebody sat on your bed 2 nights ago, and you can see that time. Hmm. I feel it's a man, Char. Dark hair. He would have been in this lifetime. He would have been very quiet. He wasn't very loud spoken, so could be. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes they come around us, and if we're going through some really like a lot of changes in our life sometimes, and we're confused or we're going through a bit of a hard time, they will come around. They flick lights. My mom flicks lights. She flicks lights here. My ex-brother-in-law stopped a ceiling fan. Not only in Toronto, in my apartment, he stopped it for quite a while. Then he turned it on. I was in the living room, and I wasn't in the dining room anymore. That turned on. Then I went to his funeral and went to his mother's. We had a brunch there, and he did it to the ceiling fan in the kitchen. Yeah, and it was him. It was Mike. So, but there's so many things. My grandfather appeared to me. I'm trying to remember the year. I was in Toronto, and he appeared almost like a hologram, almost like when you see. Yeah, I've seen like people appear like real, like real a couple of times, but it takes tremendous amount of energy for them to come back to appear to us that way. Usually they'll be kind of faded or kind of see-through, unless like in your mind's eye, it's different. But when you have your eyes open and you see them, they're not 100% in their full form. But I have seen a couple ghost full form. Yeah, I was like, hey, whoa, wait a minute. And the guy walked by. I'm like, all right, yeah, that was a ghost. You could talk to them and they don't talk back. Yeah. Hologram or hear them yet. Yeah, we've heard, and even my husband too, when we first started dating, sometimes he'd hear his name. He says, I heard somebody call my name, but there was nobody around. I said, okay. And he didn't know this about me, and I told him about an aunt. I said, I got a name here. I've never heard of this name because I'm French, and it's not a French name, and I've never heard of him in English as well. So I gave him the name of the person, the woman that came through. And I said, well, I'm a medium. So I gave him the name, and he goes, that's my aunt. I said, okay. He said, she's passed. I said, well, explains why she's talking to me. She's telling me stuff, so I told him. But yeah, but they'll do things, flick lights, smells, scents, and sometimes just sometimes you think it's your own inner voice, but it's actually kind of them kind of whispering. And sometimes when a whole bunch of them come through, they talk and it's like, pss, 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 pss. I've done classes in stores, like meditation classes, spiritual development classes. And when people are meditating, I stay aware because I protect the circle and keep them, their heart spaced and everything. But I've heard a group of people, men and women, like on the other side of the door where the door is open. They're kind of in the hallway and they're all, you can't make sense of what they say, but they're there. And it's because the basement is, haunted and stuff like that. They're around. There's a lot of spirits around and they're talking. And it's like, I wish they're all talking almost like at the same time and can't really make out 100% what they say. And a few times that I've tried to converse with them and I've asked them stuff and some have answered. So it's kind of, or someone touches your ear. Yes. Yeah. Or it feels like it's very, very light, like almost like a spider thing, but it's not. And it's like my ears bugging. I don't know why. You had them hit you with a wind while in the house. That happened. It was Halloween. I was doing a meditation at a store. And I called on one of the goddesses that connects with Halloween. And they were meditating. And I asked her to make her presence felt. And everything was closed. It was winter. Wow, October 31st. It's pretty cold. And a few of them felt the cold just go through. So and they told me about it. So that was kind of neat. Yeah. It drives you nuts. Yes. It drives you nuts. When they touch you like that, you feel like, something in your ear or you're always going like this. And it's like, what's going on? But it's them. A lot of time it's them. They will send you butterflies and dimes and feathers and birds. Yesterday morning, I got up and I said to my husband, something, I thought it was you, but something hit the window? No. Well, something hit the window. I heard smack. And then I looked outside and over the pool, I saw something. It was like, it's almost like the water was splashing, but my son went out and said, the water's frozen. I said, I saw what I saw. Something was going on. That was weird. I didn't want to go out right away and check it out. It's too cold. But they do things to get our attention. They shout in your left ear. Yeah, sometimes my left, sometimes a little bit on the right, but yeah. Just tell the message to who needs it. Yes, yeah, for sure. They come in different ways. But when you're not sure, you just ask, see who's here, and very first name. That's who they are. Sometimes it could be your guide. Your guide could come around sometimes and say, hey, my sisters felt the presence of a man here that's always here. I know my uncle was here. He died many years ago, but he was here for a while. So took care of that. He needed help with something. But, some people are more, they will feel them a lot more. Yeah. Yeah. And they don't stop until you give the message. But Jenny, you don't have to give the message. As a medium, we're here to give messages. But if we don't want to give a message, you don't feel you have to, because you could say to them, you know what, I'm not giving the message. Find someone else. They'll find another medium to give the message. Yeah. Unless you're doing a reading with somebody, they're there for that. You're doing tarot and mediumship. I do both. And then, they'll come and they'll want to give it a message. But you can't say, no. I've been in a place one time, a store, and you're grocery shopping and you really want to tell this person something, but you don't want to freak them out. And maybe if they approach you and talk to you about something, then you could say, hey, by the way, I have a message. I'm medium connect if you want. But I'll watch the person. And if I feel that it's not appropriate time or whatever, I'll say to the person that's come through that I'm not going to give the message. You can find someone else. And they do. They will find someone else. Another way to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think you'll do any angel teaching? I did one workshop at a store here about angels. I can certainly do that for sure. Yeah, I love angels. I work with angels too. You get vibrations, yeah. One of the students that I teach, it's not hearing, seeing. It's the feeling, like inside. It's a sensation that she's strongly gets, and she's right on. But almost like they play me an instrument. Have you heard? Sometimes at night it sounds like angel choir. It's music. It's not sing, but sometimes it's like could be a voice too. And I couldn't find out what it was before, but it's like angels. They're either singing or they're playing something. It's high pitch. The only thing I found was that anything resembling close was a video that was done in a church one time, and the group in the church, they were singing, but they had no musical instruments. They were just singing. They recorded it. It was a live mass, and then when they played it back, they're like, where does this music come from? There was nobody playing music. There's no instrument. And definitely when they played the video, you could hear musical instruments, but it's not musical instruments that you find here. It was really, really nice. Yeah, music, voices, yeah. Yes, you've seen that church, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, and woke up to one of them. So if your daughter hears hello and they wake them up in the middle of the night or early morning, so they're coming to her because probably I'm pretty sure that your daughter is a medium. When they wake me up and say hello in French or in English, and I wake up and I look, I remember one time it was a young girl. She must have been, I don't know, between maybe 10, 13. I mean, I woke up as like half asleep, and she needed to be rescued. She rescue medium, so I crossed her over. When spirits come to you and they say hello, usually that's what it is. Or if they're hanging around you, and they may not know that you don't know you're a medium. They see your light. Your light shines a little brighter. They come to you and they want to be rescued. But if you don't know that you're a rescue medium or you can help them cross, they'll hang around, and then they can get angry. Not a totally full-blown poltergeist, but they will get angry. I've done house clearings and house blessings, and sometimes that's what it is. Most times I found that they followed this one person home because they thought, okay, this person can help me, but the person couldn't or didn't know they were a medium. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, children are very psychic. That's why I love to be, around grandkids a lot of times. Yeah, very psychic. And then as they get older, you know, the universe, things, change with them. And then sometimes I've met people that are a lot older, could be like 20s and 30s, that they used to see, but then they get scared or don't want to use their gift, and then they close it down, they block it. And then if they decide later on, you know what, I know I got to do this is my path, then it takes a little bit of work, a lot of work sometimes to kind of open that up again. I know this one girl said it's totally closed. It's never 100% closed, but there's some blocks. So we have to work on the blocks, and then it'll be okay. Yeah. But you have to give permission to your higher self and to your guide. That's what you want to do. If you're born medium, if you're a medium, a lot of times that people, they don't know, they'll get kind of warnings, and eventually their life gets turned upside down. They have to turn to spirituality. They meet people and they'll say, well, yeah, this is who you are and this is what you got to do. If you don't do it, it's not going to be good. Because again, I believe that you were agreed to do this. So find a way that works for you, and you do it. Yeah. Yeah, my daughter is too, and she doesn't want to have nothing to do with that. But I'm sure later on that she'll embrace that. She's very intuitive. So my 3 granddaughters as well. One does see, one is just knows. It's a clear sentience. She just knows. The other one sees as well. But yeah, the boys are out. I had another go through there. Did you see that? Yeah, there's activity behind me. My grandsons, they do, but they're not as open to saying stuff, right? But my youngest granddaughter definitely, angels and stuff. Definitely, definitely. Some people are afraid. Yeah, yeah. It is freaky if you don't know. Where I was raised, my grandmother was a rescue medium. I didn't know till I didn't come to that conclusion till I was much older. She was passed. She passed when I was 16. But from aunts and uncles, they said, "Oh yeah, grandma used to do this and do that." Because my mom was a very raised Catholic, didn't talk about much, And it wasn't until later. I thought everybody was like that. It was much later I realized not everybody is the same. So yeah. Hi Rachel. So I'm glad everybody came tonight and shared some of this. Like I said, on Monday, I will be starting again these zodiac signs because when I was doing that, I find if I do that every week, it's just not enough. But every second week, so I'll start to doing either one a day or two a day, and that way, by the time I get back to the first one I did, it'll be 2 weeks, and every day I'll do something. Yeah, some people say some people say crazy. Some people are envious. They may know, but a lot of people sometimes will say crazy. I had the weirdest look, and I remember I must have been, I think I was about 15, sitting at the table with a couple of older people. I mean, older, maybe they were some in 20s and 30s, but they were talking about stuff, and I was just visiting, and some relatives, but friends of relatives, and they were talking about stuff, and I just shared. I don't know. I just talked, and they looked at me like, "How do you know?" I mean, I don't know. I thought it was common sense, but they looked at me like I had three heads or something, and you know, the look on their face was like, "How do you know?" "Well, I don't know. I felt like saying, "Well, you should know, don't you know?" When my sisters and I have two sisters, when we used to get together, and my mom, we talk all at the same time. I could be telling my mom and then switching over to my sister, and it's like we're one big talk. There's like one subject, one other subject. We're just all over the place, and we understand each other. It's like I know what she's going to say, and I already answered the question before she says it, and we're like that. It's very confusing for some people. My ex used to be around, and she goes, "Oh my God," he'd leave the room. He said, "I'm getting a headache." He'd leave the room. So yeah, it was crazy. You love this stream, yeah. I go on and on. I feel that a friend of mine says it's like a class you're teaching. I said, well, I don't know. I just share stuff with people. People need hopefully to hear. If Spirit wants me to, then it's out there. And if I can help somebody somewhere along the way, hey, yeah, same consciousness, definitely, definitely. Sometimes I know when my sister's going to call. I'll say, oh, the phone's ringing, my sister. You know, it just be like my mom, same thing. Like, and if you want to practice your skills, that's one good way is like when the phone's ringing or or somebody's texting you, say, oh, who's texting? And first name that comes up, and go check to see who that is before you go look at your phone. Yeah, it's a good practice, but you have to trust yourself, right? You have to trust yourself. And I think a lot more people now being born are born very spiritually psychic. Everybody's psychic. Even people don't believe it. Everybody's psychic. Whether you want it to what degree depends on how some are born with the innate ability. They're very, very open, and other people have to work on it. Yeah, best friend Sissy and you too. Yeah, and sometimes you can have a close friends that could have been somebody that you were with in a past life, and you can like just finish each other's sentence like you were in the same tribe in another lifetime, probably. Sometimes a sister in this life could have been a mother in a past lifetime, or a brother, or that's what they say when we reincarnate. We come pretty much in the same kind of family or tribe. So yeah, telepathic is getting really strong. Yes, and that's wonderful because with everything that's happening in the world, we need to pull on that intuition and practice that more. It would have been great in the time of Atlantis because I mean everything they did, everything was solar. Oh, kind of not solar powered like now, but they did use solar energy like crystals. And in the time of Atlantis, it was they had the technology was beyond what we have. So yeah, soul families, yeah, for sure, for sure. Especially if you're a whole bunch of mediums, and most mediums are healers. Somebody was asking me that the other day. Most mediums are healers. Now, there's different ways of healing, independent the modality that you're called to do. But y'all healers. I mean, I started healing people. I did it like in my mind, not by myself. I'm not taking the whole credit, but I called on a higher power and did a healing on a baby that they thought was going to die, and she survived. To this day, she's alive, and it's my cousin's daughter, my cousin's daughter. So when I saw her, I said, no, 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 this baby is like an angel, and she's not going to die. Not on my watch, right? And I was like 16, and I knew that what I did contributed, but I don't take the credit because I didn't do it by myself. Called on a higher power, and it worked. So miracles, miracles happen. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and I named my daughter after her, and my daughter says, "You named me after? She almost died." No, she didn't. So there you go. But it was a beautiful name. I knew my children's name before I got married, before I got pregnant. My son, my daughter. I knew their names. Their names were already there. To the point where my mother-in-law went and bought a teddy bear with the name of the baby on it. She says, "Well, what happens if you get a boy?" I said, "No, it's a girl. Her name's going to be Chantal." And it was. When the baby was born, she had to give me the baby. You got to go check. Is it a girl or a boy? Yeah, I knew at the time. How you like time traveling? Say 3 hours. Yes, you can slow down time. Yeah, there is a practice. I don't do that. Sometimes I think I do it, but not intentionally. But yes, you can. There is. You can slow down time. Yeah. Nothing that I'm going to teach here, but it's just totally different thing. But you can. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. You took kids' names. Yes, I had them chosen. I chose my kids' names. I think I was 14 or 15. So I knew. I knew. So yeah. Well, guys, I should let you guys go. It's 9 o'clock. 9:03. Interesting. I love you guys. I love your questions. Constantly, my mentor said, "Yeah, I do that. Become more aware." Yeah, we are. The whole planet is becoming more aware, more awake, and to help with that, try and stay away the best you can from crazy news, because a lot of the news is not even real news. It's what they want us to know or hear. There's always another agenda, but try to stay positive. Try to stay away. I don't watch news. Sometimes I do look at Google and see what's up in the world, but if it's negative, I just fast forward. You're very welcome, Shar. Very welcome, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow night. I'm not sure what it's going to bring tomorrow, probably 7 or 8, and it'll be a surprise. All right? So you guys, thank you so much for joining again. Have a great evening, and we'll see some of you tomorrow. Thanks for joining. Take care. Bye. You're welcome.